Well, welcome to The World According To on IMTS Plus. I'm Peter Illman, and in this episode, we'll meet Larry Robbins, who is the president of the commercial division of SMW Autoblock. Larry, welcome to IMTS Plus. Let's talk a little bit about your personal history.
I grew up in northern New Jersey. My father was in the machine tool industry for 55 years. I took an interest early on, and my father had a rule. You didn't come to work right away. You had to work in a shop, and I took a different path. I kind of moved around and did my own thing. And when I finally went to work for my father, the resounding result was I love this industry. I would choose to do nothing else. He sat me down on day one and said, after 5 years, you're probably not going to be able to work anywhere else, so you better love what you do. As time went on, I worked for my dad, and then I decided I didn't want to be a machine tool distributor, that I wanted to venture off and do my own thing. So I started a company in the Southeast. It's called Automation Accessories. We were a manufacturer's rep, and we also built special cutting tools. That led me to this, basically. I represented SMW Autoblock. I sold my business back in 2002. I became the president of a division at Hitachi. I ran into Gary Downs, who used to be the president of SMW Autoblock before I was. And we just had a very casual conversation, and 3 weeks later, I was given my notice. 17 years later, here I am at SMW Autoblock, and I'm president of the commercial division. Gary and I were great personal friends. I knew Gary for 35, almost 40 years. We got together through a company called Precitech, and over the years, we kept our friendship, we formed our friendship and kept it going. I miss Gary every day. Unfortunately, Gary succumbed to a horrible disease. In the end, he really didn't get to enjoy his retirement, and I miss Gary every day.
Let's talk about SMW Autoblock.
SMW Autoblock really became SMW Autoblock in 1994. Before that, we were Autoblock SPA, and SMW was SMW GmbH. 1942, our previous owner, Walter Bronzino, his dad started this company. They were nothing more than a job shop and a supplier to Fiat in Torino. So they started making a cylinder and a chuck, and that's where it all began. In 1968, our current president, Walter Bronzino, came to the United States, got together with an importer at IMTS, walked the show, met Mal and Hal Ross, who became our importers up until 1981, and then we built this building in 1981. We're high quality work holding products for rotating, stationary, grinding, milling. Our largest customers are companies like Moly. The space industry has become a large part of what we do. We go from the job shop all the way up to the guys landing on the moon.
How do you view the industry today, how we got here, and where we're going?
We're in an industry that constantly is in the thrust of change. We're constantly trying to improve. Customers require higher accuracies, faster speeds, more throughput, more reliability. And if you don't have a product that's flexible, you're really doing your customers a disservice. When I first got into this industry, I can remember asking my dad about IMTS, and he said that when he first started going into the show, it was every 5 years because there wasn't enough technology advances to dictate or justify having it every 2 years. I think moving forward, those changes are going to be more rapid. I think those changes are going to be bigger steps. Just to give you an example, as a company, if somebody had told me 10 years ago or 15 years ago, we would be getting into electronics or anything electrical, I would have laughed.
Let's talk about the buzzword automation.
I think the biggest challenge we're going to have moving forward is having enough capable people to fill the positions that are going to be necessary to be filled. We have to come up with ways to automate those processes so we don't need as many people to accomplish as many tasks. I think automation is going to become a large part of what we do. In order to get people to adopt that technology, you're going to have to get a buy-in at the ground floor. If you don't get the buy-in for the guy on the shop floor, it's never going to work.
The manufacturing world as a whole, what's hot right now? What's growing? Where do you see things going?
I think some of the up-and-coming industries you're going to see is going to continue to be aerospace. I think defense and armament, electric vehicles are going to become a big deal. I think you're going to see that hydrogen-powered vehicles, if someone can come up with a way to store and manufacture hydrogen in a much more reasonable manner than they're doing now, that's going to be something. Space. Space for us is where the future seems to be. We've worked on some projects in the last year that are double the size of this company almost overnight. And I think you're going to see much more deglobalization and much more reshoring. We're starting to see it now, automotive. We're starting to see it more in defense. The biggest benefactors of this, I believe, are going to be Mexico and Canada. Our industry as a whole is going to get much more cohesive in their ability to interact with people in North America.
Innovation is certainly a broad topic, but what does it mean to your role?
When it comes to innovating and innovation, we've always been a company on the cutting edge of technology, whether it be mechanical technology or electronic technology. And there could be a combination of both. We're trying to address this new next generation of manufacturing in a whole different manner. A big part of what we do comes at the OEM level. And our partnerships with our OEM partners are just that. We have to go in and look at a new machine, a new control, a new process, and either provide them with work holding that's capable of doing that or develop work holding on behalf of that OEM to service their customers better. You have to take into account that that customer also has to make a profit. They also have to produce a product. And as long as you form that partnership so you're helping them do that, you become a valuable partner. And that's where partnership really works in our industry.
What is the world according to Larry Robbins?
The world, according to Larry Robbins, comes down to excitement. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about where this industry is going, and I'm excited about what's going to happen next. I've been doing this for 43 years, so I still learn something new every day, and that's what keeps me interested in coming back every day and being excited about my job.
Larry, thanks so much. It's been a pleasure to talk with you and look to the future, and we really look forward to seeing you at IMTS in 2024.